Hello, thanks for visiting the Cybermom Project. Today's video is a third in three-part series on Twitter, and the topic today is actually monitoring your Twitter feed. So, as I mentioned before in the prior two videos, Twitter is public conversation, and I think that it's important that you remind your children of that. So, just to show you how public it is, the easiest way to follow someone on Twitter without actually having a Twitter account is and this right now assumes that you know their Twitter handle. So we'll go into a couple things later on about how to find their Twitter handle. But instead of exposing my children or somebody that I know, I'm actually going to use a celebrity for this demonstration. Oops. And Justin Bieber happens to be the #1 most followed person on Twitter. I believe he's got 35 million people on Twitter. So here it is, right here. You just have to look for it, but it's Justin Bieber on Twitter. And again, this will be how your son or daughter or whoever you're following will show up. Now, I have not signed into Twitter, and this is their homepage. So you can kind of see, this simply allows you to see their tweets. So you can imagine with 35 million followers and he's following 123,000 people, his Twitter feed is pretty jammed. So now, again, I'm assuming you know your son or daughter's Twitter handle. If you don't, then what you have to do is you have to start sleuthing around a little bit. And in order to do that, you probably should just get a Twitter account, even if it's for, a day. Make yourself a Twitter account, and because if I was logged in, if I click this button, it's going to make me log in because it won't let me search. So I'm not going to do that right now. But suppose you're signed into Twitter and you don't know your son or daughter's Twitter handle. Then what you do is you can start with the obvious. You can start with their name and search, and maybe they might come up. You're going to recognize something by the picture. If not, then if you know there's some teachers or some administration people from your school that are on Twitter, you'd be surprised. The kids do follow those people because they generally know about school closings and delays and stuff before anybody else. So if I typed in the principal of our school, then I would be able to pull him up. And I would look at his homepage, and I would click on followers. And again, if I'm logged in, I'd click on followers, and then here's all the followers. I would go down, and how I suggest you find your child is, you buzz through the followers until you recognize somebody and click on them. So if these were all kids, if you actually click on this person's name, then it takes you to their homepage, and so then you can click their followers. So you just have to kind of take some stabs, start with one person that you know, go through their followers list. Now, the other thing, too, is my son's and daughter's both schools are online. So you could type in the school name, and chances are they might have an official Twitter account where maybe I know our school does sports scores and so forth. So again, it's really easy to find that out. You do have to be logged in, and you just have to start typing in the search, and then kind of drill down to the followers until you find somebody. So the second way to follow somebody is actually through a website, and it's monitter.com. It's spelled a little different. It's monitter.com. So it's 2 T's. It's a free website, and this is a pretty sweet thing. I stumbled on it just watching some feeds. It was around election time, actually. So, but here, all you have to do, you do have to know the Twitter handle. So I'm going to again use our friend Justin Bieber, and you type the Twitter handle in there, and you hit Add Column. Now, this is a kind of a feed organizer. So all it's doing is pulling in those feeds and organizing it in one column for you. So it takes a few minutes, especially with the volume of stuff in his feed. So here it is. It's going to, if I leave it on here, it's going to update every time one of those 35 million people tweet something about, Justin Bieber, or if Justin Bieber tweets. So All it has to do is have Justin Bieber in the his Twitter handle. So now the beauty about this is that you can actually monitor 3 people. So say you have another child that you want to monitor. What you do is, I'm going to monitor Tim Tebow. Quite a combination, isn't it? Tim Tebow. Oops, if I can only spell it right. I know it sounds like I'm really banging on this keyboard, but it's just a laptop and it's kind of strange. But so you add a column. So now it's working to pull in Tim Tebow's feed. So again, this is a free site. Pull it up, put your Twitter handle in there, and boom, here's the feeds. Now you could leave this like this all day, and it's going to update every time someone. It will stop, and then you can scroll back to the beginning. But because these guys have so many followers and so many people that are tweeting, it keeps moving. So this is a really active Twitter feed. So I can guarantee you, if you pull up your son or daughter, there's probably going to be a dozen tweets. And if they're at school all day, you might get 1 or 2 additional tweets during the day. So I failed to mention the obvious, but I'm going to state it. But the easiest way, obviously, than having to really figure out what your son or daughter's Twitter handle is, or monitor them on Google, which again, both these methods work, is just to go on Twitter and once you find them, just click the follow button. You'd be surprised. Sometimes your kids may have 300, 400 followers. They might not actually see an additional follower. So that's the simplest way. My son, I follow him. He knows I follow him, and my daughter does not let me follow her. So again, if I want to check out the tweets, I just use one of these 2 methods. So again, hope this was helpful. Please pass the video on to those people who you think could use some assistance on learning Twitter. This is a content-driven project, so if you have any topics, please post them in the comments section below. I'll see if I can't answer some questions and spread some knowledge. Thank you for watching the Cyber Project.